Welcome back to Open SaaS Lab, where I am running 14 agents running a completely autonomous SaaS. I don't manage any of them. One of the agents actually manages all of the other agents. It creates tasks, assigns work to the agents, reviews their output, tracks deadlines, resolves any blockers, and replenishes the task pipeline when an agent runs out of work. It runs every 65 minutes, all day, with zero human involvement. This is Maven, my AI project manager, and today I'm going to walk you through exactly how it works. So looking at the agent definition files, we have our identity that specifies that they're the project manager and their goal is to stay on top of all the other agents. They have a SOP assigned to them for task lifecycle, and the tasks are created in Notion that we can see here. And their job is to manage this entire table and make sure that all the agents within the system have work to do. If we look at our system in the roster of agents we have Maven, who, as I mentioned, is the project manager. We have Atlas, who is their supervisor, who runs the SEO agency. And above them is Super, who is the chief of staff of the entire organization. Under Maven's direct supervision is Scout, who's our keyword strategist, Quill, our content specialist, Cypher, our technical SEO analyst, Nexus, our link building specialist, who does cold email outbound, Metric, who is our analytics agent, and Apex, who runs our Google Ads. We have other divisions that are kind of adjacent to the SEO division for revenue operations, product development, engineering, and design. Maven manages tasks for the entire organization, so it's not just the SEO direction. If we look, we have defined a series of standard operating procedures throughout the entire organization. Some are specified to specific divisions like revenue or product or the SEO team. And for instance, here is a design asset production task that has all of the definitions for what the agent is supposed to execute whenever they're assigned a task that has this standard operating procedure attached to it, and what their deliverables are, the steps to execute it. And in the tasks table, when a new task is created, you'll see that there's an SOP reference for that. If we look at Quill, who is our writer, our SEO content writer, we see that they've been assigned the task blog post production for Linkbot for today. And we open the task and it says, write the draft. Here are the inputs. The inputs are derived from Scout's keyword research, and here is the deliverable. And there's an SOP attached to it. So when Quill is executing this task, they will follow all the steps in this SOP. And after Quill completes the blog post production, they will go over to the status. And when they pick the task up initially, they'll switch it to in progress. So every time a agent heartbeat is ran, it'll look for tasks in the status backlog if they don't have any that are already with the in progress status, and they will set it to in progress. And each agent has a heartbeat directive that you must complete one full task on this chart. And if they do not complete the task, then it's marked as a failed heartbeat, and they could pick up the task in the next heartbeat run. So in progress is the task that is meaning they're working on the task, but when they finish the task, they will set it to review. And when a task is set to review, then Maven's heartbeat will run, and let's take a look at the project manager heartbeat will run, and they will take a look at any task that is set to review in Notion. So they'll query the Notion database, any tasks that are set as review. They will open the task, make sure that the deliverable is there, and deliverables in our system are either outputs or things like agent reports. And these agent reports are comprehensive documents that the agents produce. So going back to their heartbeat test. So the first test, when the heartbeat runs every 65 minutes, is to load context. So we have a complete system reset every morning at 4 a.m. where the memory files for each day get cycled to the previous day. And if you were to run an agent with for the first time that day, there's no memory file written, so there's no context for them to work against. That's why we leverage the built-in memory search, which is enabled through OpenAI's embeddings. That's a feature that's available to anyone who's running OpenClaw, which gives them persistent, long-lasting memory, so they have all the contents of their memory files indexed and searchable. So the first step for Maven is to load all of that memory, all the important memory, using a context search. The review queue is the highest priority during their heartbeat run, so any task that's marked as review, they will go in and make sure that the deliverable is good, and they'll mark it as done. If it's not, then they will set the task back to in progress and reassign it to the agent, so the agent picks it up excuse me, on their next run. The next step in their heartbeat is to look at the task health to make sure that there is a good number of backlog tasks in the system, because these get depleted as the agents finish their tasks. And if there's any that are missing, then they will create new ones. One thing we had to specify is that due dates for tasks had to be either the same day, today, or tomorrow. Initially, because it was estimating human-based timelines, it was scheduling things, like a blog post creation 4 or 5 days out, when it really could have been done in just an hour by the AI agent. So it has some guardrails and some other things. It'll always create a task when I speak to it, or when Super or when Atlas speaks to Maven. It will create a task for an agent for execution, unless it's like a quick lookup, like how many tasks we do today. It's not going to create a task for that. It'll just query it itself and give a reply. The soul file, let's see if the soul file has anything interesting. So personality, communication style, boundaries, you own the task pipeline, proactively create work from the standing task library, and the task library is the SOPs. There's a project plan, so we have created longer term project plans. For instance, let's see if I can find that. So project plans are larger than the daily tasks that are specified in the SOP library. For instance, we created one for customer onboarding, which has a checklist of things to do, such as connect to relevant apps, do research on keywords, things like that. We're doing one for landing pages as well. So that is one of the tasks for Maven to supervise. We have some tool rules. This evolves over time. We're using Slack for communications, and it's things like, instead of just responding with, I could show you an example of this. So Maven was replying earlier today with just the Notion document IDs when they need to specify the full URL by prepending the Notion URL stub to the ID, so I could click on it and look at the tasks, because obviously these document IDs are not very useful to us. So let's see what else is relevant for Maven. So Maven has a heartbeat, but they also have 5 cron jobs specified for them. And this one is kind of a safety catch-all one. It's being a proactive project manager. Again, if there's no tasks in the table that are either that are ready for backlog for an agent to pick up, then it will create some. Strategic review. This is to make sure that tasks are not just busy work, that they're actually going in a direction that will have valuable business outcomes. They have the daily wrap-up, which is an email report to me that shows all the tasks that were completed by the agents and their expected business outcomes. We have a daily stand-up where Maven will ping all of the agents, remind them of their tasks to be done, and so that's in place. Weekly planning, so this is looking at the overall project goals for the SaaS that we're working with, and assigning and creating tasks to the specialized agents to for planning the week out. So we have a couple redundant ones that are outside of the heartbeat, just kind of reinforces their task management in case a heartbeat were to fail. And yeah, I think that is it. Yeah, that's how our project manager works. Any questions, drop them in the comments. I will be sure to follow up with a detailed reply if I miss anything. So yeah, that's how I manage my projects.